Hey guys, Jason Creel. Wanted to talk to you about a few reasons why your weed and feed did not work so well this year. Now, a lot of times people will buy a weed and feed product at a big box store, order it online, come home, spray their yard. Some people get great results, say that product's great, I'm using it every year. Other people leave disappointed, go online and write reviews about the product that this didn't work, I'd like my refund back. So, why did that happen? You know, what's going on here? We want to understand a little bit about weed control. Understand one principle to understand is we have to correctly identify the weeds we're trying to control. Okay, you don't have to know the name of them, you know, but if the label of the product, you know, contains this certain active ingredient that controls this list of weeds that's clearly labeled on the product, and if you're trying to, you know, if you want to control those weeds, then this product will work. Okay, if what you're trying to control or the weed in your lawn is not on that label, then there's a good chance that it will not have the desired result on that particular weed. Okay, so that's very important. And if you don't know what weed is, you may have to look on the internet or ask somebody and say, you know, what is this weed in my yard? I can't figure it out, and I bought this product and sprayed it and it didn't do anything to the weed. So what's going on? You know, there's a good chance you might have that the product you use was not intended for that particular weed. So, for example, let me give you an example. I had a picture sent to me yesterday. Let me show you this picture. Okay, you see the picture? Now, the question was, how do I kill crabgrass in my lawn? That was the question I got attached with the picture. Well, I sent back, I said, well, you know, that's not crabgrass, that's actually Dallas grass. And a lot of times people confuse those two. I have customers, they call me, or people that say, hey, you know, my yard's full of crabgrass. What's going on? You know, and you go out there and it's not crabgrass at all, it's Dallas grass. And so the Dallas grass is very difficult to get rid of. What I'm saying, using that as an example, that if you went and bought something at the store and it said on there crabgrass preventer, and you sprayed it out, and then a couple months later your yard is full of this big ugly grassy weed, and you say, what happened? You know, what, it may not even be crabgrass. You may have a yard full of Dallas grass or some other grassy weed, foxtail or some of these others that you know, so though what you use for the crabgrass should prevent the foxtail. But you know, what I'm saying is you may have misidentified the weed. So knowing what weeds you have, and then you know, like I said, read the label, understand what weeds that this product is designed for. So a lot of times when you buy a weed and feed product off the shelf, it'll have the product, the active ingredient will say 2,4-D, which is a common herbicide that we use a lot. Well, 2,4-D will work on clover and a lot of broadleaf weeds, dandelions, and you know, different things, henbit and that sort of thing. Things we see a lot in the springtime, but it won't have little to no effect on grassy weeds. So if you have a lot of grassy weeds in your lawn, then that's not going to do anything for you. You know, there's a different strategy you have to use for that. So then another principle here is understanding the rate that you're putting it out at. So whether you bought a granular product that you're putting out with a push spreader, handheld spreader, or you bought a liquid product that somehow you mix in a sprayer or you attach to your hose, or however you're putting it out, to understand that there on the label there is a recommended rate to apply this product. And so if you are walking too fast or walking too slow, then the results can vary. So if you're walking too slow and you're putting out a heavier rate than you should, there's a chance it can damage your actual turf. You know, so that you're trying. I had somebody the other day tell me, he said, yeah, I put 8 bags of this out on my lawn just in front of you. He said it turned my Bermuda yellow. And I think, I bet it did, you know, but it killed the weeds, you know. So you're using more than it's recommended, and you could damage the turf. Now, many times it'll recover depending on how much extra you use, but one, you're wasting money, and two, you know, causing damage to the turf, and it's just not necessary. So, but if let's say the opposite happens, you're walking too fast, you're pushing that spreader, you're just walking, you know, or you're spraying too fast, and you're not putting enough of the chemical out. So, you know, you got to understand, how big is my yard? Is it 5,000 square feet? It says that this one bag will cover 5,000 square feet. Well, if I, you know, put 4 bags on there, I use 4 times more than I should have. Or if I only use a half a bag, I only put a half of is what I should have. And at that point, if you use too little, then, you know, the weeds may not die because you didn't use enough of the product. All right, a third thing to keep in mind is the weather. The weather plays a part in this. For example, just as a general rule of thumb, the colder the weather, the slower the products are going to work. So just think about that. When a weed is growing fast, okay, it's taking in that chemical quickly, which typically is going to happen in the summer as the temperatures rise, and it's going to kill the weed faster. Now, when the temperatures are cool, so if you're putting out something in February, March, it's still cooler temperatures, then it's not going to take in the chemicals fast. It doesn't mean it's not working. It may just take longer. So you might have to be a little more patient. So, you know, if you go spray, you have a weed pop up in your driveway in February and you spray it with Roundup, it may take it 2 weeks to die, or 3 weeks. You know, you go spray it in June when it's hot, it may be dead in 2 days. You know, it's just so much faster in the warmer temperatures. So understand that, and give it a little time before you judge your results. I mean, when you spray it, you know, if you're spraying something out there in the spring, you're trying to get rid of clover and dandelions, all this, you know, depending on how warm the temperature is, you may start seeing weeds wilt the next day. It may be 3 weeks before you know, I would give it 3 weeks before you make an assessment on how well it done, how well the product worked on your yard. So, so these are things to keep in mind. Like I said, this is weed control. There's not. This is something else to remember. There's not one magic product that controls all weeds. Okay, I have a cabinet full of different herbicides used for different situations on different grass types, and that's the other thing to mention. You know, read the label before you buy. If it says, you know, for here in the South, I'm dealing with Bermuda grass, zoysia grass, centipede grass, and St. Augustine grass. Okay, so a lot of the products that I'm using on a Bermuda yard or a zoysia yard are not labeled for a centipede or St. Augustine yard, and will cause damage to them. For instance, 2,4-D, which comes in a lot of those products. You know, don't put 2,4-D on your St. Augustine grass. Okay, it causes some damage, some serious damage. So understand the label. Understand what kind of grass you have, what kind of weeds you're trying to control. So, and like I said, there's not one magic product. You can put out that you know, that weed and feed, help feed the grass and help control many of the broadleaf weeds, and will help your yard look better. But it is not a one shot kills everything in your yard and will make it look perfect for the rest of the year. It's just you know, unless your yard's already in very good shape and healthy and just had a little bit of problems. But sometimes you see people and their yards look awful and they haven't done anything for them. They want to go buy one bag of a product, put on their yard, and expect it to look great, and it's just not the reality of the situation. So, but I hope these principles help you understand what you're trying to accomplish on your yard. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. I am working to put out more and more videos to help you, the homeowner, have a better lawn. Also, all the time talking about lawn care business people and how to run a better lawn business. But you can click the subscribe button, click the bell beside the subscribe button to be notified of new videos. And I think you'll find the content helpful. Thank you.